whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Taringa I āhua I apoa ki te pōuriuri, ki te pōtangotango, I te koronga nui, I te koronga roa. Tēnei e mihi ake nei nau mai hoki mai ki te punua pāho o Taringa. E whakapāho atu nei I te poka pū o Taringa ki te wānoa o te roa. I te bustling metropolis o Te Awamutu. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Don't know what that was.
Tēnā koutou katoa.
Was that like a band or?
I thought it was the credits of those opening movies.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the movies.
Oh, I just thought of Shaw Brothers, you know, and they always had that music at the start.
I don't know it, but okay.
Anyway, okay. Hoi anō, kia ora e te iwi, me ngā mihi ki te māngai pāho, kōrua ko irirangi te motu, tēnā rā koutou I tā koutou tautoko mai.
Tēnā
I te
rā,
kaupapa
koutou
o
katoa.
Taringa.
Ai.
Woo, e karema. Mātua rā, ko te kiwaha.
Mātua rā.
Mātua rā.
Mātua rā.
Look, I didn't even, you know, we
So,
did a little muck around I te wā o
first
te
of all-
mihi. Yep.
First of all.
First and foremost.
Oh, first and foremost.
First and foremost. Ne, mātua rā ko te kiwaha. Ka pai, en koera te kiwaha.
Ai.
Mātua rā. Ka pai.
Mātua rā.
Mm-hmm. So, e hara I te mea ko te kupu mātua he kiwaha, engari ko tēnei whakamahinga, or as Jared would say, how we manipulate the word. Mātua rā, and we've had ka mātua I tēnā.
Ai.
That's enough.
Yep. Ana here ke tērā ne, ka mātua I tēnā. That's enough. Ka mātua I tēnā waiata. That waiata
Will suffice.
will suffice. Yes, I love it. And then you've got mātua means to do something first off, ne? So, me mātua kōrero ki aia.
Ai.
You should talk to him. You better talk to him. Me mātua whakarongo. You should listen. You better listen. So it's putting something at the forefront.
Yeah.
Ka pai engari ko tēnei, again, it's the manipulation of the word mātua. And we're saying mātua rā, ne, which means first and foremost. Ka pai?
So that's a standalone kiwaha. Mātua rā.
Yeah, and I reira ka kiwaha.
And
yeah.
that one could be used quite formally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
In mihi,
Yeah.
kōrero.
Mātua rā ka mihi a tō tātou kingi.
Yeah.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, mātua rā te manakitia o ngā manuhiri.
First and foremost,
Yes.
we must look after our guests.
Yes. Again, it's of the greatest importance.
Greatest important.
yes.
So there's a little bit different there, engari pērā anō. So first and foremost is the hosting of our guests. I reira. So koera te kiwaha mātua rā. Have a go with it. You've had a go. Hei.
Hey.
But you, Erika?
Mātua rā, me tīmata ki te karakia?
Ka pai. Yeah, mātua rā. You could actually say mātua rā te karakia.
Te karakia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mātua rā
So you
te
don't need that,
karakia. You could still do your one.
Yeah.
Mātua rā me tīmata ki te karakia. Mātua rā te karakia, which is slightly different te wairua.
Yeah.
Mātua rā ko te karakia hei tīmatanga.
Mātua rā, he kawhe.
Yeah. Mātua rā te kawhe.
Mātua rā te kawhe, yep.
So, koera tātātou kiwaha e te iwi, ka mutu, kei roto tērā kupu te mātua I te kaupapa o tēnei rā. Ana koene ki te Tikanga 101, ana I te wānanga mātou toko toru, hā te kaupapa.
Yes, we do.
I tauia mātou e tehi whakaaro, ka whenei, ka whērā. I nā mata ka puta mai te whakaaro o kuhua nei kia kōrero tia te Oriori.
Kia ora.
Because I've just composed one.
Because it's timely.
Yeah. Nō reira, ki te kore koutou e mōhio, and you probably don't, last week, tōku iwi, we launched te Oriori o Raukawa. And it's something that I've been spending some months on in composing and organising. So koina te kaupapa, kaua ko te Oriori o Raukawa nake, engari ko tēnei mea te Oriori. And we have had an episode on mō tētia, and we did touch a little bit on Oriori, engari ko tēnei putanga o Taringa e pāna ki te Oriori. Yeah, and we'll be having a wānanga about with this Oriori that I was honoured to compose.
Kia ora.
Ana.
Mātua rā te whakamahuki o te Oriori, he hara nei te Oriori, hei timatanga o tēnei kōrero.
What's a Oriori, Erika?
Well, we've spoken about this before.
Yes.
They're commonly referred to
I like it how you say that.
as lullaby. However,
Ka pai,
kia
hoi
ora.
anō. Nice.
it is he oi anō. I was going to use manohi anō, but no, that's not fitting.
Tika ana, ko marama koe.
Ai.
However, they're actually much more than a simple lullaby that rhymes and whatnot. It's about the transmission of mātauranga.
Ko ia.
Ki te pepi
Love it.
when they're in the kōpū.
Koina.
And when they're here.
Ana.
Ana.
Yeah, kari tu atu. Kari tua mai.
Kare aku apititanga ki era.
Koina.
Ki tēnā kōrero.
I was actually thinking about this before. A lot of the times, oriori are about like whakapapa and whenua stuff, like tūtohu whenua, etc. Those types of stories. But they don't have to be, they can be about anything, can they?
Well, it's if you look at the Oriori and providing a curriculum
Ai.
to the child, to the tamaiti, it's up to the whānau and composer, what do they want to teach their child within the Oriori?
Okay.
Ana kei reira te whakautu ki tō pātai. Nō reira, the potential is endless. Say, for instance, ko pōpō, and pōpō is another word for Oriori, and pōpō means to soothe, to pat,
Yeah.
ka pai. Engari, te Oriori pōpō, rongo nui nei is about te kumara.
Okay.
Ana kei roto i tērā Oriori, ngā kōrero e pāna ki te ahunga mai o te kumara, the origins of the kumara. And there's tīwhiri, like in all of our motetea, there are names, there are reference points within the Oriori that are touchstones to epochs within hundreds, if not thousands of years of kōrero.
Yeah.
Ne. So you've got tupuna names in there, atua, and also stars, so which are reference points to when the kumara would be planted and harvested and things like that. So that provides a curriculum of teaching the maiti about the kumara. Yeah.
Man, the kumara's pretty significant, eh?
Ana. We have talked a little bit about the kumara and how i ngā wā mua, ko te tohunga kia rongo, me ki te tohunga māna te kumara e tiaki, he rite tonu, he nui ake rānei, tōna mana i tō ngā tohunga torotaua. Ngā tohunga o era mahi. Ne? That's just as important, if not more important, because kumara was one of the main food sources.
Yeah.
So there was lots of tapu connected to kumara, and hence there's a Oriori composed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he nui nā whakaaro o ngā mātua tūpuna ki te kumara, and every iwi has a narrative about the origins of the kumara. And every iwi wants to say, no, the kumara came on Aotea, no, it came on Tainui, no, it came on Horauta, no, it came with, so ia iwi. And koira te mana o te kumara. Yeah, and ka rangona tērā i te Oriori o pōpō.
Kia ora.
But yeah, just the pōpō also means to soothe, to pat. Ka pai, and we have a whakatauki ki te hāmama pōpōia te tangata e kore mau i te ika. O e kore mau ika. E rua. So he who spends, how te hāmama.
Isn't that like grumbling, like yelling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a verb, and it also expresses o e whakātu atu ana i te aho o te waha. So you could say, whakatiwhirangia mai te kuaha kia hāmama.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Kei te hāmama te kuaha.
Yeah,
It's wide
I
open.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same say hāmama and pōpō. Say what? Pōpoia is the passive of pōpō.
Ah, popoia.
Yeah, so what is hāmama pōpoia?
Openly caress.
No, listen to the whakatauki.
Okay.
Ki te hāmama pōpoia te tangata. You do this a lot. Ko te... you do this, but you don't e pai ana. Ki te hāmama pōpoia te tangata e kore mau ika.
Is that like...
That's when you play the kung fu music. And then zoom in, zoom out.
Is that like...
Anei te hāmama pōpoia.
Sweet beads.
When you...
Anei te hāmama, anei te
Yawn.
pōpoia.
Yeah, yawning.
Patting your hāmama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say, yes, yawning.
Yeah, I yawn all the time.
Engari. But this whakatauki is persevering, not through being, you're not yawning because you're lazy. I think there's things that we do, there's tasks that we do every day that can be quite monotonous or boring.
Boring, yeah.
No,
You know,
it's
but you've
not
got-
boring why I'm yawning. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about the whakatauki.
Yeah.
Of what the whakatauki means is that you just need to push through. Otherwise, you're not going to catch any fish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
or you ain't, do the mahi, get the treats.
Do the mahi, get the treats.
Right.
So, koe raka te pōpoia. Koe nei te Oriori. And tēnei Oriori, te Oriori o Raukawa. See, anei. And I never do it at the iwi, and even Pua's having a bit of a time. He's having a bit of a time today. Engari, ko tētahi o nā mahi tuatahi, so this Oriori fell out of our educational framework. So the iwi has an educational framework, the Oriori itself was an educational framework, it's a curriculum, but it came out of our hui rautaki. What are some traditional Māori birthing practices?
Kia ora.
Of which Naomi was a part of, and we've had Dr. Naomi
cool.
Simmons on,
Right.
Yeah.
on Taringa. And then we came up with a framework, o tō mātou iwi,
Yeah.
ko te manawa pouhihiri, and then we looked at life of a child, of a baby. And then we looked at hea ngā huarahi whakaako
Ai.
i te tamaiti i ngā wā mua, and one was Oriori.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, we want to revive the Oriori. Okay,
Yeah.
so what's the Oriori going to be about? Well, it's going to be about them, where they're from. So that's the curriculum and intergenerational transmission of knowledge.
Ai.
And then ka noho au, ko reo tahi māo ko taku tuhine nei a Missy. And I said, wow, I'm just not going to I don't do things.
We don't do half pies.
If we're going to do it, we're going to do it well.
Yeah.
Exactly, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing well.
Aye.
And if this is going to be about Raukawa, then it needs to contain the history of the people and it needs to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And koiraka, and i whakahuihui a hau i etahi o te iwi, ki te arataki au, he aha ngā mea ka mahu e pē i oku whakaaro.
Yeah.
So we had young parents in there, we had nannies in the wānanga. What do they think should be in the Oriori? So I had my idea of what I thought should be in there. And they provided some really good guidance to me. One was that idea, notion, that each verse should correspond to the year, the life of the child's growth.
Okay.
Ka pai, so the first verse is sung when e kōpū ana te whaia.
Yeah.
By her, her tāne, if she's by herself, by her.
Yeah.
And her, and the rest of the whānau. Because the Oriori is not just about the parents
Aye.
singing, it's about the whole hapu and the whānau. And they're a part of the learning, not just for the baby. So
Yeah.
while they're learning the Oriori and singing the Oriori, or when they're singing the Oriori to the pepi, they're learning it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're like, oh, so what does
That's
this
like
mean?
the best way to learn is to teach someone.
Ana.
Yeah.
And then you
Ana.
learn yourself.
Yeah. And then so the first verse e hāngai ana ki te oroko tīmatanga o te ao ki tā tainu i te tiro.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Ka pai. And then within the first verse, talking about our creation story as per tainui, na iwi o tainui. And again, we have lots of versions within tainui waka.
Yeah.
But one of the things, and I was going to pick out, is honey and puna, which is very different to any other iwi.
Aye.
And then on the second verse, we sing about tāwhaki. Now, the interesting thing, and we've had tāwhaki
Yep.
again i Taringa. If you go back and listen to some of the tāwhaki narratives, is tāwhaki's parents, he mai te rangi and urutonga, his father helped his mother in the childbirthing process.
Oh, cool.
So we take from the tāwhaki story, traditional Māori birthing practices. And that kōrero came up from our kaumātua, saying that one of, actually Auntie Ravina, and a hakoa, e mohe whānuiti ana te rawhai oku, ai he Ngāti Maniapoto, he raukawa anō hoki,
Aye.
that her grandfather helped birth her.
Cool.
So, you know,
It would have been natural back in the days.
e hara,
Yeah.
koina, and it's in our kōrero tuku iho.
Yeah.
So there's teaching, there's learnings in there for the father and us tāne. You know, kia whai wāhi atu ki te whānautanga mai o te tamaiti, and as the words say, whakamae ne tia ngā kūwhāra, miri a te hopera, whakamae ne tia ngā kūwhāra, ne, nā e kōrero ana tērā mo te mahi a he mai te rangi as he was massaging his wife.
Aye.
Ne, in the stages when she was mai from, being hapu.
Yeah.
And also when she was birthing tāwhaki. And then them teaching it to tāwhaki and then tāwhaki doing the same when he has his children. Cool. Kia whai wāhi mai. And that's when baby's born.
Yeah.
The second verse. And then each year, you add a verse. Now, as the verses are going, the content gets a bit more mature.
Yeah.
As well. And tētahi o nā tohu mai a te whānau ki au, he pai i te mea, because I wanted to sing ko taku kōrero ora tia, oriori tia, taku orokohanga, kia puta ki te whai au ki te ao marama. So sing my creation into existence.
Aye.
So that's what guided me. I thought if I was to sing about my creation and my existence as Raukawa, what would that look like in the Oriori? So along with the advice from the whānau, that's what guided me. Now, there's some things in our history that you should be telling a child when they're a bit older. Not when they're one.
Yeah.
Ne? And koe te tohu mai a te whānau ki au. So, ngā kōrero e pāna ki ngā riri me ngā pakanga, I put them all in one verse.
Yeah.
Ne? And the tamaiti is about 19.
Okay.
I te rāwa.
So how many verses do you have altogether?
12.
Oh, okay.
There's 12 verses.
Not 21.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Not 16.
There's 12 verses. No, because koe nā no, this is, we've talked about rites of passage.
Aye.
So when they've reached puberty, they've got the whole
They're
Oriori.
into a new transition of
Ana.
life.
So koe nā no I pērā I.
Aye.
Taku tito
Cool.
I te meara.
Kamati
Yeah.
ko rātou te haere tonutanga o taua
Ana.
kōrero. Aye.
Koe nā. And there's some things in there, if we were to wānanga each verse, we'd be here for a few days at least.
Can we have a look at least one of the verses?
Yeah, well, you fellas have a look at the kupu, because it's probably better that, you two te tiro ki ngā kupu and pick out some things you want to talk about. But just one I'm going to pick up, and one of the big kōrero, I roto i a kaua I roto I a Raukawa nake, engari roto I a Tainui, is the sibling rivalry between Whatihua and Tūrongo.
Aye.
Yeah.
Now, the learnings in that verse is not only learning about that sibling rivalry, but that to learn from that, at the end of the day, we're whānau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some other learnings in the Oriori,
Yeah.
not just the kōrero tukuiho, but what are the teachings we can take from these kōrero about our tūpuna to learn and how we interact with each other today. Yeah, so it's 12 verses. I think it's 2,500 words.
Wow.
And when we sing it, it's nearly 27 minutes. 27 minutes long.
Goodness.
Yeah.
That's where I reira hoki oku whakaro ko te roa o te oriori. Engari ki te whakaro ake ko te āta tuku, ki te whānau, ki te maiti, he whiti mō ia tau. E hare I te mea ka nui tērā ne.
Cool.
Yeah. And, if you've got a year to do a verse, ka toka tērā, ka ngoto ki te, ki te manoa o te whānau. And imagine, ka whakaro ake ki te hunga e whakawhānau pepi ana, e whai tamariki ana. You'd have your first or whatever pepi you're having, you would do that part, and then they'd be ready. They'll know the first part, and you just so happen to be hapu again. You're returning back to that verse, but you've got more layers or more kaiako,
Koina.
kai whakako,
Ana.
e wa whiti ana. Koira tētahi e mea e whakatupu ana I te pāharakeke o taua mōhioranga. And even talking about that idea of Māori birthing practices and that whole buy-in of the whānau and just how long this takes. It's not just one song you learn at a course and that's it, and there's a hope you do it. You're actually creating quite a length of not even learning, but a buy-in and investment. Yeah. Of one, bringing this kōrero back to the forefront, but then adding it on, teaching it to your pepi.
Koina hoki. Kei reira e tahi mea I kua roa au e tito ana. I was 12, the first I wrote a waiata. And it was very basic. It was a pātere, and it was about the journey of my mum, me and my mum coming back from Rotorua to Te Awamutu.
Oh, che.
And it was like, e haere ana māua I te rori ka hipa I te maunga o ngongo tāha, ka tai ki te ngā here o mamaku au e ngā patupaere, or something like that.
Cool.
But, I'd learnt so much in this Oriori. going back to the verse about ngā riri. Ne?
Ai.
Now, no mātou ka waiata i tērā, so we recorded the Oriori, and when we were doing the verse with all of the battles and things, and it kept turning into a pātere.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I uri mai ai te wana o te riri
Yeah.
o te
Yeah.
riri. Yeah.
It kept turning into a, and we had to stop and recenter ourselves. And then I noho ai katatiro kao, I looked at the amount of syllables I had in each line as compared to the lines before.
Yeah.
And the phrasing. So I had to rewrite the verse.
Oh, wow.
A lot of it, you know. And then kare tonu I tika. I thought, what's up here? And then I went back to the pōpō.
Ah, yeah.
Ka pai. So if you go to all of take 3, hara mai e tamai ahua noa koe i te urunga o te raia. That's te oriori o tūtere moana. Pine te kura, te kura. Same pōpō. Pōpō e tangi ana tama ki te kaimana. So they all have the pōpō.
Wow.
All of those oriori. So I thought, I gotta go back to the pōpō. So we went back to the verse. I thought, taiwa. And I redid the verse with the pōpō.
With the pōpō.
Went back to the pōpō, the soothing. Ne? Nā, ka tika ki reira. Now, i te whakarewatanga o te oriori, I haven't done this, but there was a nurse there, a retired nurse, tētahi o mātou karangawhaia. And when I gave the kōrero about the pōpō, the beat, the manaotaki of the oriori, she timed it without me knowing.
Really?
Anyway, afterwards, she was so excited to come and talk to me. She goes, guess what? I said, what? She goes, I timed the manawataki of the oriori after I gave the kōrero about the manawataki and the pōpō. And she said that the timing was the same as the heartbeat of a baby.
Of a baby,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I thought, well, there you go.
Wow, that's like, just one of those intrinsic
Yeah.
things.
So, nā ngā tūpuna I arataki. So,
Yeah.
when people ask me...
And they
so-
probably knew that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's, but
It
that's
wasn't
what
just by chance.
A renewal
Yeah.
of knowledge. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Or
Yeah.
a reaffirming of...
I mean, I was surprised and not surprised at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, of course. And then singing those oriori, they all have that pōpō in
Aye.
them. And I
Yeah.
would say if you timed them, they'd be the same as the beat of a baby's heart.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, now we get into the science of oriori, I don't know. People have been playing the oriori since the week it's gone out.
Yeah.
I listen to it and go to sleep. So even though, I'm saying oriori, yes, it's more than waiata whakamoe
Yeah.
pepe. But when you're in that space between
Aye.
sleep and awake,
Aye.
and he rereke ororo I
Aye.
tērā wā, ne, and how you absorb knowledge, ne. So kui rā no etahi whakaro. And etahi ko whakapā mai ki ai, they've sent me photos of them playing it to their babies, with them learning. I say, hey, don't get lazy, don't just play. Nā
Don't just
hui a
play,
mai.
yeah.
Learn it too. So,
Yeah,
but they're learning it while they're playing it, So I just think those are some really beautiful things that came to light in the composition of
Aye.
this oriori. Yeah, and I think e mihi ana ki o tātou tūpuna katoa. And just one more I'm going to touch on. The verse about mahi nārangi was
Aye.
a couple of verses. If you listen to that verse, koutou te hunga, taringa, rahi ki ngā mōtete, you'll hear there's some little, what I say, tributes to the tairāwhiti style of
Oh, okay.
some of the tairāwhiti. I'm not going to name which ones. Engari, there are some little acknowledgements in there and how I've formatted the kupu and the word use as well.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. And how they go along with the manawataki and my laying out of whakapapa in that particular verse. So koe rā e tehi o ngā, o e te o ngā ahotanga ki ngā
tīwhiri.
Yeah.
Ngā
And for the mōtetea dweebs.
Yeah. ngā hua aranga.
Yeah, koe rā hoki, koe rā.
Yeah.
Koe rā.
Man, you've actually got so many different kaupapa in here, eh?
Yeah, and that was the challenge.
Yeah.
Not only what's in there is meant to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I listened to it, I was going, every time I listen, I'm missing this out of my... No. Everything in there has got a connection.
Yeah.
How I've connected it all.
Yep. And see, he like you said, he wānanga tō ia whiti.
Yeah.
And you mentioned before in the pōpō or the ngā waiato mo te kumara, touchstones.
Yes.
Whereas not like the whole kōrero is not there, but that's he ara or
Koina.
faculty in which you can access.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the challenges. One of the challenges was when I get into the last two verses where we sort of do what some pātere do, which is a bit different to most of the Oriori, is we sort of go around the rohe.
Yeah.
And I had to think,
I saw that in the verse about the waka.
Yes.
Yeah. Going on the waka's journey.
So the thinking there was, well, that's one of the things we need to revive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is within our iwi is waka culture.
Yeah.
Ne? And these are the names of the waka
Okay, cool.
that we once had. I roto i tō mātou iwi, but there's only two of them. Ne? So there's those things in there. So while there's a journey, there's other little teachings in there. There's stuff about whakairo, there's stuff about raranga. When you unpack the Oriori to its fullest, you see this curriculum that I'm talking about, an intergenerational transmission of knowledge. And
well, sonically, you're rebuilding a world, eh?
Yes.
You know, for the tamaiti or the taonga to understand in which world they once came from and what they're heading into. So you can't be surprised, but still in awe as to what you've put in here. Mumuhau and ko takareko.
Yes,
if you know who, even out to hauraki and repanga,
Yeah. Well, if you look at those verses, if I was to write an Oriori about the journey of Tainui waka.
Yeah, wow. Me pēhea kore ai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of our origin of who we are.
Yeah.
But I can't just do the whole thing on Tainui. Even picking out. So even in there, there's teachings into what kōrero I decided to pick out and talk about in regards to Tainui.
Yep.
That can guide the maiti and the whānei. So there's a kōrero in there about ngā uranga keiwhanga paraoa, te ngā whā o te hutukawa.
Ai.
Yeah. Ko warewari, yes, e te iwi kare no kia tangata whenua ngā kupu ki au. And talking about māhina.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that's obvious one there as well. Look after what you have. Be grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Ki te mea, ki te kore, ka riro i tētahi atu.
Ai.
So yeah, there's those that go through the Oriori.
I've noticed at the start of I don't know, it must be the fourth, after the kōrero mo Tainui, you have whakataka te hau e hini ki te muri, whakataka te hau e tama ki te tonga. Why did you choose those lines? Why did you choose whakataka te hau?
So everybody would know that comes from Tainui.
Really?
One, and secondly, well, the other thing too is what I've been taught is, so that particular verse is about tūrongo and whatihua. It talks about and there's a lot of imagery around the ocean in many of the verses. And in tūrongo's waiata, which I've picked out some of the lines and put into there, te pua, te ua āwha, is talking about stormy, turbulent times. That's talking about times in your life as well.
Yeah.
And whakataka te hau ki te muri, ki te tonga, was a karakia to calm before going fishing.
Kia ora.
So it's for a calm day. So it's getting us, kia whakaaro tātou, he pewhia tātou mindfulness. I roto i tēnei, what do we do to calm ourselves, to whakamauri tau i a tātou, tirohia ngā mahi a ngā mātua tūpuna, you know, and then there's a whole lot of things going on in that verse. So that's one of the reasons why I picked that out and put it in there. And the other thing too is Oriori can he reo karakia tō te Oriori. If you look at if you compare Pinepine te kura pōpō and te Oriori o Tūtere Moana, and there's two Oriori I know of, or three actually, from Tainui. One is e tama te whai muna iho ki a hau. Hine ki ore, which Jared brought to my attention, and there's another one i roto i a Ngāti Mahuta that I've never seen and heard of. Engari, the Oriori that I know of, those ones, they contain te reo karakia. There are elements of karakia within Oriori. Cool. And that's one of the defining things. So definitely whakapapa is in there, because te mutingiho whakaako i te tamaiti, but te taki me te aho nā kupu anō nei he karakia. And koina tētahi o nā mea ki oku nei whakaaro motuhake o te Oriori.
What are those functions? Is it for them to
Well, you
Vau
were
karakia o he karakia tonu e rā mahi?
Well, you know, I te kōrero koe mo te sonic.
Ai,
And if we look at the sonics and phonics of karakia,
ai,
and, you know, ara nā kupu te ihirangaranga, te irirangi,
ai.
Yeah.
te tūpaoe, e rā kupu as the frequency of and the energy in connection to word combinations. And our tupuna were conscious of that.
Aye.
Now, I believe that those ones, they resonated with me
Yeah, yeah.
as I was composing the Oriori, and they were telling me, put us in the Oriori.
Put us in, yeah.
And and those vibrations resonate with the listener
Yeah.
and the singer, I believe. Yeah,
You've some of the verses are way longer than the others.
yeah.
In particular, I'm looking at this verse here. I don't know what this story is because I don't know it, but you're talking about somebody coming from Tūhoi, Huiaro, Waikare Moana.
Yep, so that's the Mahinarangi journey.
Oh,
Tana
right.
Haerenga,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so that's her journey. And then if
The
you...
way that they travelled.
Yep.
Cool.
And then if you go down...
Moi.
Yeah, so before Waitete the Kuri goes, when she comes down the Kaimai Ranges and there's a line in there, kotia te pito e...
Oh, yeah.
Hea te rārangi? Whāngai.
Whangaia,
Yeah.
ki te u e.
Yeah, so
Poi
there's a
poi,
place at the bottom of Te Ara Pōhatu. As you go over the Kaimai, Kōr U Kaipō is where Mahinarangi began
Aye.
to feed Raukawa. The bigger picture is the importance of breastfeeding.
Oh, okay.
Ai,
And the,
Okay.
and the whakapapa of the kupu U Kaipō.
ai.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next one is kotia te pito. And it says whāngai ki te ue. Oh, is it kotia te pito e?
Yeah. Whangaia,
Yeah.
ki te u e.
So you notice the kotinga o te pito happens on this side of Kaimai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ka pai. And if you follow the Oriori, he is born at the top of Kaimai. So you know there's kōrero and research, and this has come out in traditional breathing practices about leaving the ihonga or pito attached for some time.
For some time, yeah.
Before you
you-
sever it
yeah.
from the mother.
And he was referencing to as Raukawa.
Yes. Yeah, and that's in the Oriori,
Aye.
because that's the kōrero that was
Yeah.
shared with me. So our tupuna were doing it, and I don't think Mahinarangi would have been the first one.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
And then it says...
Lotus birth, I think they're called these days.
And then it says, poi poi ki ngā hau.
Ai.
Now that poi
Oh, is
poi...
that the
Yeah.
throwing to the winds?
Aye.
Yeah, and that's
Not
how you get the
throwing,
name
but-
Te Poi.
Kia ora.
Te Poi, which is Te Poi Poi Tanga. Yeah, Te Poi
Yeah,
Poi
yeah,
Tanga.
yeah.
Te Poi Poi Tanga o Raukawa.
Oh,
But that's
wow.
not just a tikanga Raukawa, it's a tikanga that I've found that all iwi practiced was to throw the baby to the winds. Poi, and it's koia, poi poi ki
And there
ngā
were
hau
usual
tāwhi.
places in which you do it.
Ana.
Yeah.
Ana. Yeah. So that's all of that kōrero
Yeah.
in those three lines there. Whāngaia ki te kotia te pito e, whāngaia ki te ue, poi poi ki ngā haua tāwhiri mā te ae.
And the amazing part is, so I'm talking about te whakaro Raukawa, iwi a tarahati nei, the curriculum, as you say, and traditional birthing practices. So it's not just an oriori of growing the baby or giving the right kōrero. It's actually reaffirming what you're capable of
Yes.
as a mother.
Koina
as a
hoki.
whānau.
Koina,
You know,
koina.
your tupuna,
Yeah.
you know, I haere māraro mai,
Yeah.
you know, kamatu I mau mai ia I tana kōpū,
Yes.
I whānau mai ia I te tihi o enei maunga e hautu ai tātou I enei wā,
Yeah.
you know, that's amazing. But typical of those days, but however it seems to be, so it's to so reaffirm your strength
Yes.
as a whānau, your strength
Yeah.
as a mama, your strength as a pepe, you know, these things, they are
Yeah.
your birthright, intrinsic things that you're capable of, yeah.
Yeah.
And those kōrero in regards to te kaha o te wahine are an all iwi.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as the mother, you know, when, e ne harau te wahine. But you know,
Not?
you know, when, and I say this in all humility, and kei konei a Erika, ko whānau mai o tō tamaiti, tō tamahine, tā tātou tamahine. But you know, it's to get the mothers to believe in themselves
Yes.
when they're having
Yeah.
one of those days.
Yeah.
That, look, this is the strength within you. You got the strength
Yeah.
of Mahinarangi.
Yeah, and
She
as you
walked
referred
all
to,
the way,
yeah,
you know, from Kahunguni. Look, you know, it's not trying to make her feel bad because she's having a bad day. It's saying, no, look, you're strong, you've got the strength of Mahinarangi and
Yep.
all those other tupuna that are named in that verse within you.
Yep,
Exactly. Koina tai. Koina
Yeah.
Because you referred to, it may be just mama.
Yeah.
Maybe just mama. And, you know, and just want to add to that too, all those, the reason why those tupuna are named, because that's you.
Yeah.
That's who's in you.
Very cool.
I think it's cool.
You should feel proud.
I feel proud for, kōrero nei roto i te whakaiti, but I feel proud for te ao Māori because te ao Māori, we're in the space, you know, so kawa ko mātou anake ko tātou katoa.
Aye.
And, you know, we have our moments and we still have lots of work to do.
Yeah.
Engari, whakanuitia ngā waimareatanga, whakanuitia ngā mahi me ngā kaupapa. And something different I did with this, if we look at the language, it's relatively, I've peeled it right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Like,
Yeah, yes.
this is language I can understand.
Exactly.
I'm not going,
Well, who
"Oh,
knows,
this
in
is
200 years they may go, this archaic language.
Yeah.
And you'll have side notes which cannot be...
Again, if you look at the Oriori, if
Yeah.
you look at pōpō, so there's some things that you would need to be explained, like what does Maui whare kino mean in pōpō, what is te tātua and te Oriori o tūtere moana.
Aye.
While the language is classic and archaic and quite traditional, it is actually quite simple to follow.
Yeah.
So koina no tētai o ngā wero ki au was peeling the language back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still following the template, the tupuna template I call it. And then when you get to the last verse, you are now singing to the te tamaiti
The mighty,
and singing to them as an adult.
As an adult,
saying, one day you're going to be a mother,
Yeah.
one day you're going to be a
Yeah.
father, you're
Yeah.
going to be an ancestor.
e tua
Yeah.
wahine mā, e tua hangata mā.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're a part of the continuum
Yeah.
of the Oriori and the teachings of our tupuna.
And
Yeah.
even that's a gas up, eh?
Yeah,
You know, he whakamomona i te tangata.
Yeah.
He tua hangata koe, he tua
Yeah.
wahine koe.
Yeah.
You're a tupuna. Yeah.
and then ana kei roto i te mātua,
Aye.
mātua rautia.
Ngā pūkei kura.
Yep, and
He anō te pūkei kura?
tamariki.
Tamariki, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of those
Cool, he kupu
kupu,
anō.
yeah, a lot of the kupu āiui I
Aye.
found in Waiata of
Aye.
either Raukawa
Of
or
course,
Tainui.
yeah.
And that mātua rautia line, you know, made, you know, Wharehuia never claimed that as his, but because of him it became well known.
Aye.
But mātua rautia I found in one of our mōtetea.
Oh,
I was
kia
like,
ora.
wow.
Wow.
So that, it was going in there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
then reaffirmed
mātua rautia e ki ai he moepori. So I think koina te taumata me moepori anō a tātou tamariki mokopuna, there's empowerment in into being in the collective.
Aye.
E ki ai tātou he hapu, he whānau,
Yep.
he iwi. You know, me moepori. And then mātua rā ko te reo, mātua ko ngā tikanga, mātua ko te whenua, mātua ko te wai.
Aye.
Koe nāna me e nui te mana ki o tātou whakaaro,
Yep.
Yep.
but also not only what more can we do is the interbeing with those things in our taiao.
Aye.
E roto i tērā whiti. And then mātua ko te whakaiti,
Aye.
mātua te whakaaro nui,
Whakaaro
and
nui.
line in there, mātua te aroha Māori.
Aye.
So that was something I found in the manuscript.
Ne.
Tētahi e kōrero ana mo te i tukua e mea tōna whenua ki a mea. He aroha Māori.
He aroha
tērā.
Māori. Aye.
And I sat and I thought, hea, te aroha Māori. And I wānanga māua ko Jared. So Jared was one of my, I'd bounce whakaaro off him,
Aye.
Yeah.
you know, in regards to the Oriori. And he was a great critic.
And that's what you'd need though.
Koina,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
want anybody that was to say, oh, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And not challenge me.
Yeah,
Not
be
challenge
terrible.
me,
I
yeah.
wanted to be challenged,
Yeah.
you know. And I said, how whakaaro?
He's put a recipe for paku in there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Pewhia tō whakamaori tērā, and I wānanga mum, that was like unrestrained, unrequited
yeah.
love. You know, so we talk about unconditional.
Unconditional, aye.
So
koe hoki.
unconditional, unrestrained, unrequited.
Yeah.
Koira te aroha Māori.
And as I'm reading it, it's a lowercase m, so that's where that's lowercase m. That's where my thought went
Yeah.
to, like with no
Yeah.
strings attached.
And then the last e hine e tama purutia kia mau tāwhia kia ora, kei heke tō tupu. Now that comes from that is a big kōrero about one of our tupuna who climbed up on the whare and mimied on his teina, because his teina was the pēr rongonui.
Aye,
Oh, okay.
And his teina looked up and said, e kore taku tupu e heke i a koe. Now, when Jared saw that in, because ko mohio koutou ki aia, e mohio ana ki te reo hā moa, me e tahi o ngā reo o te moana ni akiwa, that's one word we don't use anymore. Tupu is he rite ki te mana.
Oh.
Kei heke tō tupu. Ne, engari, kei hā moa e whakamahi ngia tonuti ana.
Oh,
They
nera.
still use that, tupu. And that's what he said, e kore taku tupu e heke I a koe. And that's that line in there. Purutia, all of that, to live the Oriori, be the Oriori, embody all the learnings, purutia kia mau tāwhia kia ora, kei heke tō tupu, kei onge kā meha. Now that onge was a word, and I like to use a hook.
Yep.
I aku titonga waiata, mō tētea, pātere harawara nei, and e onge aku is the hook. And onge is a word that kāre te tino rangona I nai nei. Now everybody knows in the week that the Oriori's been out.
Hea te onge?
He taonga.
He taonga, ai.
He taonga nui whakaharahara.
Ai.
He whatu, he tongarerewa. Koe rā te onge. So ko te e onge aku, kei te kōrero koe ki ngā tamariki.
Ai.
Instead of saying e tama aku, or e hine aku.
O
e onge aku.
E onge aku. Oh,
Now, kei, ko te onge kā meha is a scarce treasure.
Ai.
Oh.
So you don't want all of those things I roto I te Oriori to become scarce.
Scarce,
Yeah.
ai.
You know, kei heke tō tupu, ka onge kā meha, e onge aku e.
Ah, kia ora.
Ia ana. So, koe rā te whakarāpupototanga o te Oriori.
Ai! And you may have noticed it, Iwi, we've been short on words because we're here reading the
Yeah,
Hebrew.
which is cool. And, you know, I whakawātea tia kia... Mehe piranga koe ki nā kupu whakapā mai ki au. Well, first and foremost, the goal is ka ako nā e taku rahi.
Yeah.
Ka ora te Oriori. The other thing too is to inspire those that have the pūmanawa ki te tito is to revive Oriori amongst your own iwi
Ai.
Yeah.
Koia oki.
and whānau. And it doesn't have to be a 27-minute long Oriori. Engari, hei hiringa mahara tēnei, a whakahihiri a koutou.
Well, you can compose a verse every year.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And thirdly...
How long did you spend composing this?
9 months.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was going to say, I only pehe kōrero pai mo o te...
Because it was something...
That's quite fast. I would have expected it to be longer.
Yeah, it was, well, people have been going, Tuki, 9 months.
Oh, really?
It was the thought process.
Yeah.
And I had to be tau with every verse.
Yeah.
You know, for it to be, you know, there were times where I would go back and, nah, it's not right.
I imagine you would have done... like.
Hey,
you would have known
that's
the
the short
kōrero,
version.
but you would have had to do a lot more research to like keep reaffirming things.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the short version.
That's the short version, yeah.
But
and just saying that, like, imagine how you are in your mind in month 1 and how you are in month 9, and for that to not show in the whole body of work.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you can blah, blah, and they just abruptly finish it.
Ana.
Because, you know...
Or one day you're into this idea and the next day, oh no, what was I thinking?
Yeah. So as Pauli spoke about te wahanga ki ngā riri,
Yeah.
maintaining that pōpō sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ko nā tikanga e pāna ki te ako I te, well, you know, or I should say te waiata. I have, kei ngā mātua te tikanga, engari kua ki atu au, sing the first verse first.
Yeah.
No te whaia e kōpū ana. And then even the second verse, so it's ready to sing ka puta mai ana te tamaiti.
Aye.
And then carry on, ka pai. Learn the Oriori in its entirety, because how I've designed it is for the iwi, when they go somewhere, they might just want to pick one verse out to sing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. So you
pai.
can just do a singular verse.
Yeah, so if we're into Tai Rāwhiti, well, we're going to pick out the Mahinarangi verse.
Yeah.
But,
Te mātātua,
yeah, ko tāku ki taku rahi, a kona te katoa I te tuatahi.
Yeah.
Ka wāte ai ki te tīpako I ngā whiti.
Ai. Kei onge ka meha te hunga e mohi ana ki te katoa.
Koina hoki.
Yeah.
Hey, koe rā e tehi o nā tikanga e pāna ki te Oriori, but we didn't want to put any tapu on it. You know, he tapu tonu, he tapu ngā kōrero, I roto I te, o te Oriori nei, engari, we don't want to put any tapu ka whara ngā tamariki mokopuna.
Ai.
You know,
Ngā mātua.
engari, te whānau, engari tiakina. You know, kaua e tukua ki a tā nono ati a tiakina.
Ai.
Tiakina te taonga nei. Nō reira, koira tāku, and probably last one, goal is to find new spaces for our waiata tawhito.
Ai.
Instead of tangihanga, like days and hui, what else can we do with our mō tete?
Yeah.
And not competition.
Yeah.
Hey, not whakataitai.
Yeah.
Let's find new spaces, and I think this is one place for it to exist in, for Oriori anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
No, absolutely. It's, korone au e mohi ana ki a koe, engari e kore taku miharo I tō mahi e mutu.
Kia ora.
Yeah,
You know,
I'll
it's,
say.
it's actually really reviving for myself personally. Not to go out and compose, but just, ko te motuhake o te whakaaro Māori, te mātauranga Māori, e pātata, e pākau ana ki a tātou. It's just there. It's just an access. It's easily accessible, but you just got to do that digging. I think it's an amazing body of work e hoa.
Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe. Well, I think e whakarongo ki ngā whiti, e te whānau o ngai taringa. We're going to share 2 verses, the first 2 verses with you all. And there will be a link in the feed if you want to listen to the length of the Oriori. Kei a koe te tikanga. Engari, I whakaaro ake au kia tīpako hia ngā whiti tuatahi tuarua. Ana hei whakarongo mā koutou. And, with the intention that within these first 2 verses talks about the birthing of the child and its divine origins, and e hangai ana ki te orokohanga mai o te Oriori nei. Nō reira, whakarongo mai.
Hinei ahua ki te pō, uri tamai a pō ki te pō, tango whakarongo rā kopu mai ki kauwhau. Tō ahunga ki toi, ere tia tō, take ngai o, tupu ai o, ariki he tātai no tua whakarere iho no whai o kore nui, kore para, kore whiwhia, kore rawea i o take i o matangaro i o te wānanga nanga te ao wānanga te pō, karongo te ao kohani te wai ki me atu ko puna whakatupu tangata karara para ko tiki te pō roto ko tiki tawhito ariki ko tiki ahua mai Hawaii ki ko manawa ko ranga hau ko iara hoki tā ranga hau tanga I te ao pakarea ki te ao pakakina ka hau tō manawa ko ia manawa tina ko ia manawa toka ko ia manawa kau ora. He mauri ka puta kei waho kei te ao marama. E onge aku e hine tama kori rotora me ko tā whaki koe korua iai a kamana mai rai o atua he tapu tuku I ngā taku no te rire o te rangi ia he mai te rangi ia urutonga he rangi ngā toro he rangi haruru I runga rirora miri a te tuarara romi a te hopera whakamai ne tianga kuwhara karara pakahihiko ka papa whai tiri taka tu mai he tohu hoki rā te nana o nui nā wehi e onge aku
The way that you have ended each verse, we've only listened to 2. I see how you could sing them in isolation.
And that's the hook.
Yeah.
E onge aku
Yes.
Yeah, the tangi is really good.
One of the tete o ngā huanga commissioner, she goes, I've got the e onge aku down. Because I got the e onge aku down.
Hopefully you don't have, ka tū ana te iwi ko te nuinga o te iwi e mea na.
Waiting,
Coming in. One question I have for you is, what isn't in there that you considered that might be in there or should be in there?
I considered writing a lengthier verse for our huanga that went down to Te Tonga.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, kia ora. Yeah.
Yeah, so I finished there. I say, ki hanga ki pane hākua, I whakarere a rā e o rahinga ki te tonga.
Ai.
Kia waitohi e ki te rangi haiata, ki te kaiwhakakapi i te mano hape ki a te rauparaha. And I maharau, ki te pērā au, ka tae au. Engari ki te pērā au, I reira ka mahu e tahi kōrero.
Ai.
Ne, and ki au, he pai ake mā o kuhuanga o te tonga, tērā wāhanga, ke kito.
Right.
Ai.
Yeah, so that was something I considered. There's a few in there where I have talked about, I may have, like those that know e te onga kōrero tuku iho, I roto I te Oriori nei, they think, oh, you didn't talk about such and such, and he's a brother. But I've referenced a child.
Yeah.
Or a place that person is named, and that's when I talk about touchstones.
Yeah.
That some of them are quite explicit in saying kome, and others are those touchstones or kurahuna.
Just those hints.
Hints. Like Tūwhare one. You don't hear Tūwhare name in there.
But if you know, there's quite a reference, eh?
Yeah.
I think I sort of subscribe to that. I don't know if that's what you are going after, but, you know, say if your kaupapa was an apple, you'd want to talk about everything else but say apple.
Yes. Yeah.
You know.
And Takitimu's not in there, but, you know, Kahungunu and Tamatea are in there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't say Takitimu.
Yeah.
Kārea Takitimu, mā tātua is in there, toys in there twice. I think there's moana toi. And that references the connection through tōrere nui arua to Manaki ao.
Yeah.
And also te moana toi.
Yeah.
So,
ngā tini a
there's
toi.
not necessarily things in there that I second or that I question myself, but I did have a wānanga about how would I still include them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with those hints.
Would have been really hard to summarise a lot of that kōrero down, because I imagine there would have been parts that you would have, you know, you just longingly wanted to make really robust kōrero, but then, you know.
Look at te wā I rei I te whānapa nui a tainui, o te rohe o te whānapa nui o nai nei, he nui ngā kōrero kei reira.
Yeah.
There's lots of kōrero there. So a hint, another one is, I talk about te reka mauroa in Kāwhia, or te reka mauroa grew in. So, but those are the kōrero that you unpack in the wānanga with the oriori afterwards.
Yeah. Or
you
they
know,
encourage fathers to go, hey, that's...
Te reka mauroa still grows in te whānapa nui because tainui, you know. So you can't put everything in there.
Yeah.
So explicitly, there's got to be those hints and touchstones. Yeah.
Two more things, I like how you said, kōrero hotiroa. Nāna rātou waka tainui whakakau I a tamatea kai ariki.
Yeah.
I kakari ai a hotiroa.
Yeah.
And te kōrero mo te tahe.
Yes.
I saw that
I
word.
think that's important too, to have that in there.
Yeah. So there's two versions to how Tainui got its name. One was through the child, Tainui, and the other one was with the waka being unbalanced. So both of those kōrero are in there. But it's not mentioned that Tainui got its name from them.
Oh, okay.
But they're referenced with the te tahe, and then the second one is riwarutia te waka, karata tahi kōrua ki runga.
True.
Yeah, which comes out of a tongikura. So there's all those sort of, there's dots within dots within dots. There's universes within universes.
Koe o hook, that's what the...
Not only each verse, but each line and then each kupu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So koira te oriori e te iwi. We nearly launched into another one.
Okay, no, that's enough. We'll park there.
And mihi ake ana. Tēnā rā tātou e hoa mai. E kōrero rero nei. And I think it's really timely that we do it now while it's fresh. And kia rangona e koutou e ngai taringa. Ana ngā huatanga ki tēnei taonga tuku iho. E hara I au ake. Ne, nā tātou katoa. Me Māori koe, kei roto I a tātou tēnei taonga. No reira koe nei tāku, ki ngā iwi katoa. Kei a koutou tēnei pūmanawa, te tito, tēnā kimihia te taihuarahi he ora mai anō ai i nei taonga. Kimihia he wāhi ke atu i tēnā o te marae, i tēnā o te whakataitai. E orai e nei taonga tuku iho. Koe rā taku aku kupu whakamutinga.
And I just like to quote Dr. Byron Rangiwai. This is important work. That's probably one of the most profound things I've read him saying. Hoi no, ka nui ngā mihi.
Tēnā koe. Kia ora tātou, hei kona.
Hei kona.
Hei kona.
Me whakaronga pi kari kari. Gather up close everybody buddy. Taringa, taringa, taringa. Yeah, tahuri mai ki yo. Whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Korero flowing out the hooker force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds. Kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira. Whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani kani move that body. Kani kani move that body.
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. Ā, nā te māngai pāho me irirangi te motu i tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Taringa, whakarongo mai.